Gentlemen of the press, magandang umaga sa inyo. We held today a tri-agency conference among the Commission on Elections, Armed Forces of the Philippines, and the Philippine National Police to fine-tune all coordination, security plans, and preparations to proactively respond to the mission at hand to provide security to the holding of the forthcoming regional plebiscite for the Bangsamoro Organic Law and to ensure peaceful, orderly, and fair 2019 midterm elections in May through the Joint Security Coordinating Center or JSCC. We held lengthy discussions on the different electoral processes that will take place this month and in May this year. Our continuing efforts against loose and undocumented firearms in accordance with Republic Act 10591 and the nationwide gun ban imposed by COMELEC that will take effect on January 13 until June 12, 2019. Also discussed is the status of the ongoing campaign against private armed groups and proactive efforts to preempt possible outbreak of violence as a result of intense political rivalry among parties and candidates. We will resume the conference right after this press briefing to convene the Joint Peace and Security Coordinating Committee or JPSCC to further synergize our respective police and military strategies into a national campaign that will defeat all threat groups and criminal elements, ensure security and maintain public safety, to contribute to socio-economic development of the Filipino nation through a joint instrument that the Chief of Staff AFP and the Chief PNP will sign and set into motion the AFP-PNP Joint Campaign Plan Kapanatagan 2018 to 2022. This is a medium-term, broad plan that shall guide the AFP and the PNP in providing guidelines and delineation of authority while performing their mandated task to promote peace, ensure security, and support the overall development initiatives of the government towards inclusive growth. Joint Campaign Plan Kapanatagan is anchored on the national strategic guidance defined in the National Vision, National Security Policy, Philippine Development Plan, National Peace and Development Agenda, and the DND Guidance and Policy Trust Joint Planning Guidance 01-2018. Last October 2018, the AFP and the PNP convened the JPSCC to explore all available avenues for better coordination and cooperation in our operations on internal security, anti-criminality, and counter-terrorism under a joint security framework. Initially, we identified common ground on security and peace and order challenges that our respective agencies are mandated to confront and address, such as the communist terrorist groups, local foreign terrorist groups, private armed groups, criminal gangs, and other criminal elements, and peace-inclined armed groups. The respective strategies thrust of the AFP and the PNP were thus harmonized into this joint campaign plan Kapanatagan 2018-2022, not merely as a product, but a dynamic process to establish greater interoperability in our continuing operations to address security concerns within our respective areas of concern, including all other productive endeavors where we join hands in support of national government initiatives as envisioned by President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Among the other salient features of Campaign Plan Kapanatagan are the PNP shall support the AFP in combat operations involving the suppression of insurgency and other serious threats to national security. The Philippine National Police shall take the lead role in law enforcement operations against criminal syndicates and private armed groups with the active support of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Thank you and good morning.
Okay, number one, sir. Nagamit kasi ng ilang local officials yung mga CAFU for general. Sir, nagamit kasi. What is the AFP and the PNP doing right now? Kailangan ba magkaroon tayo ng loyalty check with the CAFU nagagamit na po sila ng mga local politicians, especially malapit na po yung election. And baka magamit po sila sa plebiscite ng POL.
We assure you po that the COMELEC are under the operational control of our AFP commanders. They are deployed, although they are deployed locally, they are ably led by our country commanders and of course the commanders on the ground. And we make sure that if there are reports regarding some COMELEC that are being utilized, we will act on it and make sure that they'll be properly punished. But what we're saying is that the COMELEC in general are actually under our supervision, and they will be. We will ensure that they will be non-partisan and apolitical in this exercise.
Pag ginagamit po sila ng mga politicians, kailangan po magpaalam sila or pabayaan po ng...
They cannot be used po by the politicians. Very strict, especially itong security coverages, especially during the campaign period. We have said, of course, and emphasized during the conference that the AFP will not be providing any personal security to candidates unless, of course, approved by the COMELEC. And on our part, what we are doing is actually providing area security to all candidates while they're in the conduct of campaign or actually during the conduct of the whole exercise to make sure that they will be freely moving around without any threat from any group.
Sir, pag may nakatunayan na ginagamit ng politiko, ano pong sanction ng Armed Forces of the Philippines?
Meron naman po tayong, they are under, of course, the military justice system. And aside from that, they can be charged, of course, criminally. Depende sa kung anong violation ang kanilang magagawa.
Are there CAFGUs right now that you are looking or the AFP is tinitingnan or nagkakaroon po ng pag-iimbestiga? Are there CAFGUs right now?
So far, wala naman.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, Tina Panganiban Perez po from GMA for all. What is the situation now in Cotabato? And is there a recommendation, sir, to put it under control, COMELEC control?
Well, pinareport natin yung mga tao namin sa ground. Same with Daraga Albay and Cotabato City dahil medyo mainit yung situation sa Cotabato City. So, mamayang NBank meeting, didesisyonan ng NBank kung ilalagay yung dalawang area na yun under COMELEC control.
So there is already a recommendation?
Meron na.
Sir, sinong gumawa po ng recommendation?
It's our people in the field, most specifically the election officers.
Sir, the sentiment there is they don't want to be included in the plebiscite. So how are you moving forward with your information campaign there?
Well, dalawa yan eh. Merong nagsasabi na no, meron din nagsasabi ng yes. So kami naman sa COMELEC, with of course our counterpart from the PNP and AFP, talagang itatawid namin yung plebiscito. Kahit anong mangyari. So regardless of ano yung magiging kampanya ng mga anti or pro, talagang itatawid natin yan.
Sir, Cotabato City lang po ba yung may recommendation for COMELEC control?
Sa ngayon, after ng bombahan sa Cotabato, yun pa lang yung nakita naming medyo kailangan matutukan.
Sir, how is the implementation of martial law affecting or how will it affect the conduct of the plebiscite?
Mas maganda yun, mas favorable sa amin yun dahil dalawa yung magiging sistema na gagawin ng mga tao.
Mas mahigpit.
Of course, of course.
Sir, pakinggan naman para lang mas malinaw. Pag COMELEC control sa ano nangyayari?
Maraming aspeto yan. Under COMELEC control, it will be the security-wise, it will be headed by a task force, headed by the commissioner in charge of one of the commissioners of the COMELEC. And then, syempre, ang counterpart niya doon is yung regional commander ng AFP as well as ng regional director ng PNP. So silang magmamanage on the security deployment of troops. And even kung kailangan i-reshuffle yung mga tao doon, i-reshuffle nila.
Sir, si Daraga Mayor Carl Wilbaldo ay isa sa mastermind sa pagpapatay kay Congressman Balitang. May kapangyarihan ba ang COMELEC para tanggalin siya sa listahan ng mga kandidato? Ano ang
Well, merong petition ngayon sa amin. Didesisyonan din namin mamaya. Dahil merong petition doon saying na since he is no longer a member of the Lakas CMD, so therefore he will be disqualified. So mamaya hintayin nyo ano magiging decision ng NBank.
Pero wala pa sa problema kasi some sectors are saying na yung at this stage, yung parang pagpapatalsik sa kanya, so there's party nominated, ay with the consent of the candidate.
Titingnan natin because under the rules kailangan talaga ng consent. So I would not would like to ayokong ma-preempt yung decision mamaya. But kung titingnan mo sa rules, tama yon yung sinasabi mo na kapag wala siyang consent, hindi siya matatanggal. So most likely, ako on the personal level, he will just be considered as independent. But again, decision na namin yan mamaya.
Sir, ano ba dapat ang maging violation ng isang kandidato para matanggal siya at hindi siya payagan?
Actually, marami. Okay, one of which is misrepresentation, mga ganon. Pero i-hearing yan, due process yan. So hindi ganun kadali. So huhulog yan sa mahuhulog siya sa division and then NBank bago siya matatanggal.
Sir, kung sampot siya sa isang krimen?
Oo, depende sa kaso.
Sir, how will you get his consent when you can't find him? When
Of
he can't
course,
be found?
alam naman natin yun. Kaya nga titingnan namin yung factual basis mamaya.
Sir, have we finalized areas that will be subjected to areas of immediate concern with regards to the midterm election?
Can I refer you to the PNP?
Meron na tayong mga sinubmit nga, meron tayong listahan, but not necessarily that all these 18 cities and municipalities will be under the COMELEC control. As of this time, nakrinig naman natin yung ating chairman na meron palang dalawa na kinoconsider sila, one is Cotabato and the other one is Daraga. But with us, yung amin is just a for departmental use yun.
Sir, how many election violence have we recorded since the filing of COC for the candidates?
Wala akong exact number. I can give you probably later yung exact number ng ano.
Sir, gano'n nakahanda ang PNP at AFP para sa 2019 midterm elections? Gano'n nakahanda?
Sa BOL mo na.
Well, handang-handa na tayo. Kaya nga tayo, we made this final coordinating conference, although meron pa tayong gagawin ng mga series of coordinating conference before and after, or before, during, and after the conduct of the plebiscite itong January, and also before, during, and after the conduct of the local and national elections ng May 2019. Continuous ang aming JSCC conferences and JPSCC conference dito.
Sir, based sa last monitor, 77.
Yes, as I've said, actually, in the next few days, the Chief PNP and I will be going around our units, of course, to supervise, especially yung send-off ng ating troops for this coming BOL election.
How about the threat group, sir? Marami po, like Bangsamoro, Islamic Freedom Fighter, meron pang mga Mote and Dawla Islamia. What are you doing right now with this threat group, sir?
Actually, ano naman na po ito, no? Nakalatag lahat ng ating security measures. Especially in the case of Mindanao, alam naman natin, naka-in place ang martial law. And we have added security measures and intelligence monitoring for this for the movements of and monitoring of these groups. Okay.
Sir, last monitor is 77. Yung monitor na parties.
77 pa rin.
Nag-increase ba siya, sir?
77 pa rin.
Bawasan, neutralize.
Ganun pa rin. Wala pa naman tayong na-add dyan, although these are just estimates, remember. No? These are just estimates. Pwedeng itong mas malaki, mas marami. Pwedeng itong konti. Remember, these are just estimates.
Okay, COMELEC naman, sir. Sir, may specific request po ba kayo sa AFP and PNP with regard to the plebiscite and the midterm elections na tutulungan natin area kung ano yung mga assets or personal na specific request from COMELEC?
Oo, nangyayari yung aming regional joint coordination din sa baba. So, paakyat yan hanggang sa ibibigay namin sa counterpart namin yung mga recommendation namin. So, constant yung meeting sa baba hanggang sa taas.
So, as develop, as yung nagpo-progress yung develop yung
Oo,
situation sa
oo. Expect kayo na pwedeng yung area of concern, for example, dadami yun, pwede rin mabawasan. Depende sa assessment natin sa baba.
Other matters. Sir, ang ilang sir magpapanila po ng 1 batalyon sa Palabadas? Wala po po sa ating, sir, kung dadagdagan na natin, tama na po kasi nabanggit nila sa 10,000 forces po ang nagsisituation sa iba.
10,400 in fact yung naka-deploy na dyan sa buong area ng BOL, and meron pa tayo ng mga naka-standby also for follow-on forces. Pero the commander of Western Mindanao Command had said that the forces in being, or the forces in the area are sufficient to ensure the peaceful conduct of the privacy.
Sir, sir, congratulations sa promotion mo, sir. Sir, in case of, with due regards to BOL, in case of volatile attacks, who will call the shot between the PNP and the AAP? Because there are some foreign terrorists lurking in the area of the BIFF and Dawla Islamiyah, Toraypi Group. Sino pong mangunguna, sir?
Kaya kami nandito ngayon, sabi nga ni General Albayalde, itong conference namin ngayon, dalawang parte. The first one is, of course, to finalize the preparations for the conduct of the BOL plebiscite as well as the midterm elections. And the second part is to give flesh dito sa ating sabi nga yung joint campaign planning, joint guidance, and of course yung how we can fully support the intent of the President dun sa National Task Force, and local communist armed conflict to ma-operationalize natin with the PNP, as well as suggestions on how the other agencies also will be brought in to matupad natin yung ng ating Pangulo na matapos na ang problema na ito ng insurgency.
There's a question for other matters, a question from Balitang.
Kay PNPG, sir, yung acting church ulit, sir. Yung Data Privacy Commission is asking the PNP to explain yung spying on active churches.
Remember, no, sa paulit-ulit nating sa sinasabi to, these are not spying, these are merely intelligence gathering, and there's no provision in the Constitution or in the law that prohibits anybody, or specifically the Philippine National Police or the AFP as a law enforcement agency to gather intelligence information. Wala pong nagbabawal sa konstitusyon o sa batas para ang PNP ay mag-gather ng intelligence information. These are all inherent as in the mandate of the PNP as a law enforcement agency. This is a very good typical example lang na ginagawa natin in all other persons of interest also, no? And also suspects in a crime. Pareho lang po yun na pagkakalap natin ng intelligence. And as I've said, we want to assure all the members of the ACT na sinasabi nila 2,000 of them, hindi naman po lahat yan. Actually, we just also would like to separate those who are actually supporting, no, the particularly yung armed rebellion, no, because as I've said, it was announced by no less than Mr. Season sa YouTube that these are all their legal fronts. Hindi lang po itong ACT. Marami pa siyang binanggit doon. So who is lying here?
But what they fear right now is...
Why would they fear anything? If you're not doing anything, you don't have to fear anything. Diba? Remember, if you are a law-abiding citizen, you don't have to fear anything. If you are a law-abiding citizen, you don't have to fear anything. Yun po ang tanda, we are a nation of laws, not a nation of men.
But what they are telling us is that baka matokhang daw po sila. So,
These are all speculations, no? These are all speculations and allegations na palaging sinasabi ganito. Anybody can say those things kasi, no? What we are doing is above the law. Wala po kaming binabiolate na batas dito. No, we are just doing our mandate, and we want to protect the people of the Philippines. It is the mandate of the state to protect its citizens from its enemies.
Sir, yung Data Privacy Commission, nakipag-coordinate na ba sa PNP? Data Privacy
Hindi pa po. Wala pa naman silang wala pa naman silang coordination with us.
Provide an explanation.
Oh, wala naman po 'yan. Wala naman tayong binabiolate dito. Remember yung sinasabi nilang yung pag-relieve ng tao, we relieve them not because they were gathering information, but because they did not do their job properly.
Are you aware of this? Meron daw
Yung nanakit? Yung sinasabi?
Sa
That is being
MPA.
investigated. Yung sinasabi nila, it's because initially, ang sabi, meron siyang inutos na dapat nandun sila during the translasyon. At hindi yata sumunod. At may inutos siya ulit at hindi pa rin sumunod. So parang lumalabas, parang napikon yata itong pero we have to check on that kung ano talagang ginawa because nung nagpa-medical sila, meron silang pasa sa mga daliri nila.
Sir, pati yung mga taong nasaktan, yung mga pulis na sinaktan, iimbestigahan din?
Yes, of course. Yes, they will also be charged. They will also be charged for non-compliance of a legal directive, no? Kung ikaw sinabihan ka ng mo doon, ng commander mo at ito gagawin mo, ito ang gawin mong duty, hindi ka sumunod, you will also be charged mo bakit hindi ka sumunod. Now, that's a legal order, that's a legal directive.
Sa
Remember
station
that.
commander, sir, ano po yung pwedeng ikaso?
Depende kung talagang sa tingin naman nila that is a crime against person kasi yung physical injury. If they'll be filing a case against their commander, then let it be kung talagang magpa-file sila ng sa commander nila. And of course, we will check on the matter dun sa administrative side of the incident.
Sir, kay General Marino, pwede rin sa inyo, sir, kasi yung worry, sir, you would remember yung mawahan after the Supreme Court
Mawa
struck
18.
down yung constitutionality, may mga commanders ng MIRF na nawala. So, parang may mga sectors na baka hindi favorable yung outcome ng privacy, baka makulit. So, are we prepared for this? Anticipating?
Ano naman ito, no? We are in close coordination, of course, with the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the peace process. And lahat ng parties involved, especially MNLF commanders, MILF commanders or leaders, kinakausap natin ito. And so far, wala naman tayo. But of course, the Armed Forces and the Philippine National Police are prepared for contingencies, if ever. Pero so far, maganda naman ang ating coordination doon.
Sir, ako lang. Sir, for AFP and PNP, sir, si Pangulo, nililimit na yung mga polis na mag-inom sa public places. So, nagpalabas na ba kayo ng orders?
Actually, matagal ng polisiya, no? We are prohibiting, of course, our uniform our personnel of lahat ng from yung itong mga public places na mag-inom. Especially beer houses or other and matagal na ito nga natin and lalo nating pinaiiting na mas siguro na may patupad yung kagustuhan ng ating Pangulo.
Sir, kung may makitang sundalo na nagiinom, anong pwedeng sanction?
Ganun din, no? Kasi may mga naman sa atin yan. Depende kung ano kanyang maging violation. No? Meron tayong nakaano naman yan sa ating military justice system.
Sa kampo, parang may inuman dyan sa loob ng kampo ang ginagawa. Paano yun, sir? Paano yung consider ba yun as
Party yung may red wine.
Ano naman ito, no? Ano natin ng kasi yung tsaka sabi nga, i-define natin ano ba yung mga public places na sinasabi.
sa PNP?
Well, sa PNP, meron na kasing existing directives yan sa mga KTV bars, yung mga house of ill reputes na sinasabi. Bawal naman talaga yan. And basically, we are covered by the Code of Conduct, Code of Ethics as a government employee. No? As a public servant, we are covered by that. Sa civil service yan. So, yun lang po ang guidance niya. But, as I've said, just the same, nagpalabas pa rin kami ng reminders sa ating mga kapulisan to avoid drinking in public. Kung pwedeng wag na nga uminom in public places din pwedeng naman na wag nang uminom in public, especially so if you are in uniform.
Pag sa kampo din, sir.
Sa kampo, controlled naman kasi yan. No? Controlled social activity kasi yung sa kampo. At secured naman yan. At alam naman natin kontrolin yan.
Sir, assessment lang sa kampo.
Sa translation, sir, assessment.
Oh, ano? Well, it was generally peaceful yung conduct ng ating translasyon. As of this morning, we accounted for a total of 714 injuries. No? Hindi ko alam kung tataas pa yan, pero as of early this morning, ang report sa atin, total of 714 minor injuries. No? And fortunately, as of this morning din, wala tayong report of any casualty or death. At natapos ito ng, kung kumpara natin last year, is an hour earlier. An hour early. So, natapos siya ng class 2 to 2:21 yata kanina, before 3 a.m. So, kung compare natin ito last year, it's 1 hour early. Compare natin dun sa nangyari last year. Ano?
Estimate.
Ang estimate nila so far is more or less mga 1.5 to 2 million yung nag-peak ng lahat na nag-attend, no? From dun sa Luneta, nagsimba, yung mga walang tigil na mass dun sa Quiapo Church. So more or less mga sa 1.5 to 2 million yung yung kaninang umaga. Hindi ko alam kung meron pang mag-increase pa yan.
Less than last year?
Ganyan din. Actually, mas nakita natin, mas marami yung grupo ngayon doon sa Quiapo Church. Kasi last year, kung makita natin, there were even vendors sa loob ng compound ng church. Pero kahapon, nakita natin, wala, puro tao na yung nandun. Masikip na masikip.
Meron ba tayong dapat na baguhin? Have you learned something dito sa translasyon 2019 that na dapat pang ayusin ng PNP?
Over the years, nakikita naman natin it is improving. No? Ang nagkakaproblema lang naman tayo dito kapag una, yung hindi matakpan yung butas doon sa kalsada na dadaanan. Pero basically, nagagawa yan ng DPWH. And the coordination, na pakaganda na yung coordination ng committee at saka ng mga law enforcement agencies. Kasama na yan yung stakeholders natin at saka yung Joint Task Force NCR ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. So over the years, nag-i-improve ito. And if you will notice, we have 0 incidents dito of any crime. No? And we've been doing, that has been happening since, I think last year, 0 incident din tayo. This time, 0 incident din tayo. Last year, meron tayong, I think, a few casualties. Pero as of this time, wala tayong report of any casualties so